Hey, how's it going, guys? Jackson here with Toasty DIY, and today I'm just going to be giving you guys a little tour of my car collection and basically what I paid for the cars, where I got them if I can remember, and what I think they're worth now based on current trends, because I kind of keep up with what these cars usually go for. So we'll start off with one of the nicer ones. This one right here is a 1967 Datsun Roadster, or Datsun 1600 is really what it's called. This car actually has the original R16 engine in it, which is just a little 4-cylinder engine, and it has a 4-speed manual transmission. It's in beautiful shape in my opinion. This is one of my favorite cars of all time. I put this roll bar in. I really didn't do much since I got it though. Besides, I did swap the engine. There was an older R16 in it that had a crack in the side of the block that was actually welded, and I got lucky and got my hands on a newer R16 that was a little bit nicer. So that's what's in there now, and I think it has about, I think the car itself, let's see how many, 42,000 miles. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty low mileage car, and I mean, the shape of it really shows it. It has been repainted in the 90s. It's like Porsche red. It's actually pretty dusty right now too, which you can kind of tell from this angle here. I actually paid $2,500, I believe, for this car, $2,500 US. It was not running when I got it. The carbs were taken apart. The brakes were completely locked up. So really, I was able to pretty much get everything up and going again within about a week. I didn't have to replace anything at first. It now actually has Willwood disc brakes on the front, and then still I just put some new drums and shoes on the back. But other than that, the brakes are pretty easy. I did have to replace the master cylinder. This is the R16 engine. I did put an electric fan on there, just a cheapo one. It does actually have like a little block-off plate here, which normally would have had an air filter over. That's why there's those little tabs there, but kind of just did that to help separate some of the heat from the exhaust manifold. But yeah, I mean, I replaced the I believe it was the master brake cylinder and possibly the master clutch cylinder, then the new slave cylinder. And other than that, I mean, fired right up with the original engine and drove pretty good. So like I said, $2,500 for this one. I would estimate that it's probably worth, I don't know, I would say like somewhere between 8 and 10 maybe. Maybe to a Datsun enthusiast it might be a little bit less, but I think based on the shape, I think it could fetch that, but I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, these are just my opinions or guesses on it, like if I was to try to sell it. Yeah, that's the 1967. Over here we have the 1978 Datsun 280Z. This one, unlike this car here, had a lot of rust on it, which a lot of the Z's do. I've had both of the quarter panels replaced, which this guy did a pretty good job on them. And then I also had, and I don't know if you guys are able to see this, but the floor pans and the dog rails which go under the floor pans were completely replaced. It does have all new metal like on the underside and everything, and I mean, honestly, cars other than that, I mean, it's in decent shape. This is original paint as well. I mean, it's been bondoed in spots and repainted in a couple spots, but it is the original paint color, and as far as I'm aware, the original paint, I don't know, it's, to my knowledge, it's never actually been like fully repainted. So, but it has a lot of flaws here and there. It has dash cracks. I mean, there's rust in plenty of other spots. There's bubbling in other spots. There's a really bad spot up here, actually. No holes that I'm aware of anymore after I got the welding and everything done, but yeah. So I paid $770 for this one. I got this one about, I think 6 or 7 years ago now, maybe? Or yeah, about 6 years ago. And I paid $770 for this one off Craigslist. This was right before Datsuns really started to get popular. And so I was able to get this one for a really good deal. I have done a lot to this one though. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. I've pretty much replaced like everything on it. It did come with a lot of the original goodies, which is pretty cool. Those are still the original hubcaps, but I actually just ordered a set kind of like these. I ordered some Watanabe style rims that are like satin black, and they'll be a little bit bigger, so I'll be able to have lower profile tires and not as much tire, because right now I think it's way too much tire for the rim. But I'm gonna go ahead and pop the hood on this one. So this one here, as many of you might be able to tell pretty quickly, is not stock. This one is an L28 ET now. This originally came with just a straight 6 naturally aspirated. It now has the 280ZX version of that, the straight 6 that's turbocharged. I'm making about 10 PSI of boost, and I would say that I've put a lot of money into this one. Like, I've probably put, I would say, 6,000 plus into this one. So I mean, based on, you know, the value of Z's right now, I would think I could probably get like 10 for this one. I don't know, maybe more, maybe less, but I would probably put it around 10. I think is a pretty fair value for it. And it runs and drives pretty much perfect. It sits outside for now because I don't have room in the garage, but this is the 1980 Datsun 280ZX. So this one here, I actually did the paint myself on, which it shows. It has a lot of orange peel and stuff and didn't turn out the greatest, but you know what? It's a 20 footer. It looks good from 20 feet away, and it oohs and ahs from there. I did take off the front bumper and everything, which I need to get some type of, I'd like to get kind of like what I have in my 280Z, like an air dam and maybe like a fiberglass bumper or something, you know, nice. I did accidentally break. I did all of this after I painted the car. I was back at the garage and I ran it straight into one of the sides, so I have to get a new side marker and everything. It does have the really cool iron cross rims, which I eventually want to either have like refinished, painted black, or just polished completely aluminum color. Because they're actually decent rims, you know, they're real rims instead of hubcaps like my regular Z has. The interior is actually in really good shape on it. So the seats, the seats are like pristine. Like I haven't not seen a single rip or stitch out of place on these because the person probably had seat covers on for a while. But once again, 5-speed manual. This one I'm actually trying to get, you know, teach my girlfriend to drive and everything so she can drive it whenever. Because that's really the only motivation I have to keep it if I can close the door. But yeah, this one, I mean, it's in pretty good shape. It definitely has its rust spots and whatnot, especially if you get under it. The floor pans are a little bit rusty. I think up front, like the toe boards, like the firewall area, there is some rust that's going all the way through, but the battery tray and everything's good. This one actually has my 280Z's engine in it. So it's the same engine that would have came in this car. It was just a regular L28 that I pulled out of it, and I basically just put an L28 that ran back into it, because the other one, the block was bad. It had the crankshaft like just completely destroyed itself, and it threw one of the rods and everything, so that one was pretty done. But you know, hey, it runs and drives now and it actually does really good. I didn't have to touch the brakes or clutch or anything. I literally got the new engine running, and then from there I was able to drive it. I think I maybe had to bleed the brakes, but other than that, it's been great since day one. So this one here I paid $1,000 for. What do I think it's worth? Not much more right now because of everything going on. A lot of people just don't have the money to buy project cars, and the people that do have the money, they're getting them really cheap right now because everybody's just being forced to get rid of them. So I think this one, I mean, I don't know, maybe in the shape that it's in and like the things that I've done to, I could maybe get a couple thousand for it, but which, you know, is making a little bit of money. But you also got to remember, I put money into it to get it running and driving and painted and everything. I've probably put at least a few $100s into it alone. So yeah, you know, there's not really much money into it to be made at the moment. You know, maybe it's one of those things where if I hang on to it, it's like a future investment. It might, you know, gain value over time, just like the other ones have. So this here is my 2005 Toyota Tacoma. This one, nothing really special about it. This is an example of a car that you're gonna lose money on technically. So I think I probably, I'm paying this one off. This is, all my other cars are paid off. I paid for them outright, obviously, since they're pretty cheap. This one though was like $13,000, and you know, like I said, it's being paid off. But this is an 05 Tacoma with a 5-speed manual, so all my cars are manual. That was a 5-speed as well. I don't know if I mentioned that. Yeah, 5-speed manual, 4-cylinder. It has 4-wheel drive, which is nice. Has back seats. You know, the really little ones, like the suicide door style back seats. But you know what? I really do love this truck. It's probably one of my favorite purchases. You know, it sucks that I'm paying off a car. Everybody will tell you don't pay off cars, if you can, but obviously I didn't have that type of money just to dish out. So, and I needed something new. I didn't have anything that was, you know, modern and that I could trust to get me from point A to point B. It came with a lot of stuff that I'm not, like, you know, it's grown on me. I'm not the biggest fan of like lift kits and stuff, but it is lifted a little bit. I'd say maybe, I don't know, 3 to 4 inches, 3 to 5 maybe. You know, some pretty nice metal, you know, brush guards / bumpers in the front and back. Has KC lights. It has some TRD parts on it. This is just the base Tacoma as far as I'm aware, though. It's not even, you know, like a TRD or anything like that. It does have the 6-foot bed, which is awesome. Yeah, nice trifold cover. Really nice rims as well. I did have, which I've had videos on multiple things like this, MagnaFlow exhaust, which you can kind of see there. You know, it's all stainless steel. So yeah, this one's a really good truck. And like I said, I mean, this is one that you're not going to make money on, obviously, unless they for some reason go up, which Tacomas have done a really good job at holding their value. But this one, you know, is getting mileage on it every day. I think I bought it with like 135,000 and now it's like 146, and I don't even know if I've owned it for a year yet. It's almost been a year. So yeah, she's getting miles on her, but you know, it runs and drives great, and you know, I plan on driving it, you know, past 200K. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.